English translation. So please go into the respective rooms to listen to the respective languages. Thank you. Okay. 네, 그러면 시작하기 위해 저희 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님께 경배를 올리도록 하겠습니다.
So let's start our meeting today. Let's have a vow to our Heavenly Parent and true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind.
네, 하늘 부모님과 전진 참 부모님께 경배. 바로 네, 감사합니다. 오늘 기도는 제이미 벨가라 부협회장님께 기도 부탁드립니다.
Today's prayer, I would like to ask Reverend Jamie Ravara, the Vice President from 어느 나라 분이신가요?
Philippines.
From Philippines.
Greetings to everyone. So please join me in my prayer. 사랑하시는 하늘 부모님, 전지인 참 부모님. Thank you so much, our beloved Heavenly Parent, our true parents, for this great opportunity again that we can come together with our Chunbu Leaders School as we continue to nourish and to learn, empower ourselves, Heavenly Parent, to take ownership for the providence, especially on how we can be able to become your victorious sons and daughters, to become your heavenly treasures, who wanted to give joy and happiness to you and to our true parents. I pray, Heavenly Parent, that through our platform meeting and learning, centering upon our professor, Juan, Father, I pray that you can be with us throughout this learning and studying, Father, so that in that way we can be able to really become an effective instrument, Father, who can truly become the model and example, Father, who can expand the foundation of Heavenly Tribal Messiah in our own nation and, Father, for the world. Please be with us from beginning to the end of this workshop and this platform, in this virtual meeting, and your Father, that we can learn many things from you, from our Professor Hill, as well as to all our presenters, Father, for this evening. We want to offer and pray and report this to in our name, Jim and Shederica, blessed central family, Aju.
아주 Thank you. 감사합니다. 네, 다음은 출석 체크 시간입니다. 여러분 아시다시피 채팅방에 들어가셔서 본인이나 부부의 이름, 나라, 직책, 전화번호, 이메일 거기에다가 남겨주시면 감사하겠습니다.
그래요? 그럼 어떻게 되나?
One second.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you. I wasn't mute. Okay, please, attendance check. Can you please write down your name, country, your position, what to do, right? In the chat room, please. Yeah.
네, 오케이. 감사합니다. 그러면 출석 체크하시는 동안 오늘 주요 참석자들을 소개하겠습니다.
So while you're writing your attendance, we'd like to introduce you important participants today.
네, 천부교육원 쪽에서 저희 메인 코치 길령환 교수님 오늘 참석하셨습니다. 큰 박수 부탁드립니다.
Let's give a big round of applause to our main coach, Professor Kill from Chombo Education Center. Let's give a big round of applause. Thank you.
네, 그리고 오늘 통역은 영어 크리스티나 리 감바시님이 도와주시고 문명호 차장님은 페르시아노 이제 도와주십니다. 그리고 마지막으로 엘레나 님이 러시아어 통역을 도와주십니다. 정말 큰 박수 부탁드립니다.
And for today's translation, for Persian, that's Moon Young-ho. From Russian, it's Elena. For English, it's Christina. Let's give a big round of applause for encouragement. Thank you.
네, 그리고 우리 많은 코디네이터들한테도 정말 감사하다는 말씀을 드리고 싶습니다. 우리 유럽, 아시아, 아프리카 코디네이터 항상 수고를 해주시는데 정말 큰 박수 부탁드립니다.
And I really want to thank all the coordinators. Let's give them a big round of applause from Europe, Asia, Africa. Let's give them a big round of applause.
캐나다도.
And Canada.
네, 감사합니다. 그러면 그리고 마지막으로 저는 스마트 아미 인가마입니다. 첨보 리더스쿨 코디네이터입니다. 반갑습니다.
And my name is Smart Army. I'm a Chombo coordinator, Chombo Leader School coordinator. Thank you.
네, 그리고 현장에서 오늘은 유럽, 아프리카, 아시아, 캐나다에서 많은 천복 가정과 축복 가정도 오늘 참석하셨는데 큰 박수로 서로 환영합시다.
Let's welcome everyone who's attending today from Europe, Asia, Africa, and Canada. Let's give us all a big round of applause for attending CLS today.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you.
그리고 이제 지금 현장에서 오늘 참석하시는 국가회장들 계시면 나와서 인사 말씀 좀 부탁드리고 싶습니다. 혹시 국가회장님들 계시면 그냥 언뮤트 하시고 인사 좀 부탁드릴게요.
Okay, any of the national presidents, if you are participating today's CLS meeting, can you please unmute yourself and say hello to everyone, please?
네, 간단하게 한 1분 안으로 부탁드립니다.
Maybe just 1 minute. Greetings. Any national president, if you're participating today's CLS meeting, could you please unmute yourself and say a quick greeting to everyone, please?
Hello, I'm from Hungary. Nice to meet you. I enjoy each time this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
We expect much more, and we have a lot to work on the ground. We ask that more wisdom can be installed on us, and
Hello, can I say something?
Yes, please.
From Botswana, national leader, William Chimfwembe. Nice to meet you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Steinar Murud from Norway, national leader in Norway. Thank you very much that I can attend also this time. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I'm
Hello.
Francis Makuza from Africa, Rwanda, national leader, and also Chombong couple. So I'm grateful to be with you today. I've not been able to come before, but I was missing you so much. I hope I get out today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello from Finland. My name is Joseph Swachina, Family Federation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining today.
Here from Finland again, Keijo Mikkanen. I'm Secretary General UPF from Finland. So you're here, I guess. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Good evening. Good day. I am from Belarus.
Hello. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Okay. I don't think anyone from Asia.
Canada.
Asia, Canada. Please feel free to introduce yourselves and say hi to our participants.
Hello, Professor Kill. This is Julius Malikdel from the Philippines. I'm the Regional Vice President of Heavenly Asia Pacific, and good to see all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Good. Please come, Mother Teresa, please. Mother
Good
Teresa, please.
evening. Good evening. Good morning. Thank you, Professor Gill. Looking forward to our class today. Thank you.
Thank you for
Greetings to everyone.
joining. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, is there anyone from Canada? Maybe Mr. Kandashi can just, as a representative, just say hi.
Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon from Canada.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. 감사합니다. 오케이. 네, 그러면 오늘 수업 순서를 간단하게 말씀드리자면 먼저 저희 핵심 주제에 대한 영상을 같이 시청하고 그 이후에 2명의 발표자가 오늘 발표를 하실 겁니다. 그 다음에 교수님의 피드백을 들을 거고 Q&A 시간을 가질 겁니다.
Okay, today's program will have the main topic. We'll watch a video clip from Professor Kiel. We'll have two persons presentation regard today's topic, and we'll have Professor Kiel's feedback and Q&A session.
네, okay. So, sorry. 네, 그 영상을 시청하기 전에 우리의 코치 교수님 모시겠습니다. 큰 박수 부탁드립니다.
So before we watch the video, let's welcome our Professor Kiel. Let's give him a big round of applause for welcoming.
네, 안녕하셨습니까?
Hello,
보고
everyone.
싶었습니다.
I miss you.
얼마나 많이 보고 싶었는지.
I miss you so much.
여러분도 그러시죠?
You too, right? You miss me?
네, 오늘은 제가 한국의 일지구의 그 신마을 페스티벌에 다녀왔습니다.
Today I went to the Heavenly Village Festival event by the 일지구를 뭐라고 하나요? In Korea, I mean, they have 5 different regions, and by the region 1, they had this Heavenly Village Festival, and I went there today.
예. 지금 여러분들은 지금 신한국의 어머님이 참 집중하기를 바라시고 계시죠?
As you know, True Mother is really focused on Heavenly Korea at the moment, right? You know, all you know.
그래서 우리는 이제 우리가 공부했듯이 신자기, 신개인, 신가정, 신종족 다음에 신종족들이 살아갈 신마을이 있죠.
As we studied from true self, it develops into a true family, true tribe, and then we have to build heavenly village, right?
한국 일지구에서는 정부에서 돈을 받아서 마을 운동이라는 게 있습니다. 그 마을 운동 안에 우리 식구들이 투입되어서 마을 사람들과 함께 신마을 운동을 하는 그런 축제 보고회를 오늘 가졌습니다.
So the region 1 in Korea, they receive financial support from the government, maybe a grant, to have this Heavenly Village Festival. And many of our members were involved in this event. And yeah.
그래서 그 참 재밌는 그 슬로건이 뭐냐면요. 희망 버스를 탑시다. 근데 그 희망 버스 안에는 43명이 타는 겁니다. 그 희망 버스 안에는.
So they have this very interesting slogan saying, let's get on the dream bus, and we can have only like 43 people. 43 are invited for this dream bus, is their slogan.
그 버스 안에는 먹을 거라든가 마실 거 다 필요 없이 그냥 온라인 버스를 타는 겁니다.
And in this bus, there's no need of food or drink. It's an online bus.
그래서 우리가 공부한 대로 3명, 6명, 9명, 12명 이런 스타일로 43명을 만들어서 온라인 버스를 타서 어느 날 우리가 10만 명, 20만 명이 함께 모이게 될 것입니다.
As we learned from previous CLS class, starting from three, they can grow into 6, 9, 12, and eventually up to 43. In this style, we can grow this number into 100,000 and 200,000 people.
여러분도 희망 버스를 만드셔야 될 겁니다.
You will have to make this dream bus as well yourself.
누구랑 같이 희망 버스를 타시겠습니까?
With whom would you like to ride on this dream bus yourself?
네, 그 희망 버스 타는 43명을 시외를 할 수가 있습니까?
시열이요?
시외.
See well. Yeah, yeah. Can you see well yourself? Can you vision it yourself to with whom you're gonna ride on this dream bus? Let's say 43 people, can you visualize yourself and see well?
예, 오늘 우리가 공부할 것은 그렇게 그 시외를 하기 위해서 43은 아니더라도 3명이나 6명이나 9명이나 이 우리가 희망 드림버스에 탈 사람들 시외를 하면서 우리가 이 공부를 해보기로 하겠습니다.
And today, let's study together. Let's learn together under this topic of see well. Even if it's not 43 numbers yet, even if it's 3 people or 6 people, 9, those whom you want to get on this dream bus together. And with that dream and hope, let's start our today's session.
네, 그래서 지금 우리가 공부하는 신수수 리더십, 다시 말하면 이 웰 코칭을 교회 안에 세팅해서 거기서 이제 그 웰커밍 파티 같은 걸 하면서 코칭을 하는 그런 그 프로그램도 오늘 발표가 됐습니다.
And through this heavenly GT leadership, right? Heavenly give and take leadership, well coaching, and some we have also a case today where they have said in their church for welcoming party, and through this event they do a coaching.
예, 아마 우리가 이 공부하는 중에 말레이시아 리더들은 잘 들으셨다가 질문도 많이 받게 될 겁니다. 준비 많이 하고 계십시오.
And while we're learning today, those leaders in Malaysia, you will receive a lot of questions. So please get ready to give answers. Prepare yourself. Yeah.
예, 고맙습니다. 그러면 우선 주제를 보시면서 우리 함께 공유해 보도록 하죠.
Thank you very much. Let's watch the video together for today's main topic.
See well, do well, and be well of well coaching that I introduced to you last time. Today, I would like to focus on see well. The reason we learn see well is to ask questions and help people when they are trying to achieve what they want, so that they can see how well they achieve what they want. In other words, it is to help them use their imagination to visualize what they want. It's not just letting them say vaguely that they are going to do it. It is about helping them see themselves how good they are doing. CL is a factor that can have a significant impact on performance. So having a coach to help with that is very important. The coach's job is to help people see for themselves and achieve what they want. If this is done well, we will be able to see well. See well is not just seeing well. Today, I'm going to share with you what it means to see well with your original mind. Yes. How can we see well help us in heavenly GT leadership? By learning to see well, you will be trained to meet and feel your original mind. The parents awaken the heavenly parents who is in me has only been heard in the world and is only theoretically known. However, if we practice CL through this kind of original mind coaching and make it a habit to hear the voice of our original mind, we can meet the heavenly parents with us. The learning effect of CL coaching is that while the coach does not put his own thought, they are not meant to give advice or instruction to the person in object position. Coaches must have the mindset and the attitude that encourage the pupil to self-awaken themselves. It is like a coach who become a mirror holder, and need to be able to stand in position as an invisible person who helps pupils see themselves in the mirror. It is the coach's job to stand in the object position as much as possible, to listen carefully and ask it questions so that their client can understand their own original mind. If the coach performs this role well, the difficulties people have can be resolved in a short time and they will feel liberated and free. In order to see well coaching, a coach must have a clear understanding of his or her position. The coach's position is that of chamber coach. The position of chamber coach is to help their object partner. It is never a teaching role. A coach in such a position is sometimes called the coaching presence, from the coach's position of non-promotion of self. What is right coaching? The coach will help people achieve what they want to complete their will. This is, in principle, a place to help the object partner reach their individual perfection. With these things in mind, we should think about see well. Okay? Now, see well means to visualize your thought. Think that you have already achieved what you want and pictures it in your mind correctly. The athletes who won Olympics did a lot of visualization training and imaging training. It is said that the reason why South Korean fencing player Hyun Hee Nam won the gold medal is because she had been in imaging training, visualizing herself winning a lot of fencing fights. Serial means that the coach and the object partner can see the goal they want based on their original mind. This is the core of well coaching. What is the harmony give and take leadership? Which is the harmony give and take leadership? We need to think about what the price centered on the original mind means here. Centered on the original mind. In a word, to focus on your true original mind means to have the attitude of Chambo Kochi. The Chambo Kochi put aside all his assertion, judgment, perceptions, evaluation, and stereotypes, and stand purely in support of the object partner. To have the attitude of chamber coach means to take a position to serve the object partner, to love them, and to help them achieve their will. The second point is a chamber coaching is centered on principle. Principles are that everyone in the world recognizes as right. Consider, for example, the immutable law in the natural world that the big difference is always in the north, wherever you are, that the sun rises and sets, and that the seasons come in the order of spring, summer, autumn, and winter. These are natural laws. They never change. Like this law in the natural world, there are right principles in human life. There are also unchanging principles within human love, truly, honesty, true, godness, beautiful, etc. We can understand that with our original mind, harmony GT leadership makes us overthrow to see well coaching that these unchanging principles are with us. A third point is to discover the divinity that is dormant within you. Every human being has a divine nature within human beings. There is a divinity with tremendous power that would not dare to think with our human nature. Human nature. To be centered on one's original mind means to realize and nurture the tremendous impress of this divinity within oneself. In other words, doing so well, centered on your original mind, can be understood as allowing you to experience this true self. Yes. To see the one desires centered on one's original mind is to let the object partner see the desired goal centered on their original mind, to see values, to see visions, to see missions, and to see the reality in which they are standing. We can apply this to ourselves through the purpose coaching, value coaching, vision coaching, mission coaching, and the reality coaching with which we will learn in the future. In order for an actor to fire his bow, probably he must see his target clearly. You have to see clearly when you want to hit even within the target. What are your eyes looking at now? What are your eyes looking at now? The fact that the blessed families must win 430 is the biggest target among targets. What we need to look at now is a slightly smaller number of targets. You should see a target of 43, a target of 12, a target of 9, and a target of 3. If you stand on such a position, you can win 43. So let's look at the number 3 as a target. Renowned leadership scholar Stephen Covey said in his book, The 7 Habits of Successful Leaders, see the end and start. Such leaders succeed. To start looking at the end literally means to start looking at the complete picture of the end goal. Likewise, if we want to win over 43 families in a real sense, we must first focus on 3 people. If you want to become an excellent coach, you can achieve great results if you create the foundation of 3 coaches and continue the coaching training you want. One should be the observer, one the coach, and the other the customer, and you have to constantly perform coaching. In coaching of see well the purpose, the coaches help the client achieve their goals. The coach asks the client good, smart questions so they can see well what they want to achieve. What the client see may differ depending on what and how the coach asks it. Smart questions are good. You need to ask smart questions as a coach, following after each letter of the word SMART, smart. Let S is an abbreviation for specific, and it represents a quest to set the goal in detail. For example, when you ask it, what is your goal? What is your goal? And they give an unclear answer, please say it again, or please tell me about the goal. You just talk about this one short sentence. By adding such questions, you can help them see specifically what they are looking for. Letter M represents the need to set measurable goals. You ask the questions so that they can see the smaller step as a smaller step toward the goals, which should be measurable, not big at all. Afterwards, if they have achieved the goal, you can ask questions in which they can confirm it. You could ask questions like, how will I know you have reached your goal? How will I know you have reached your goal? Or how can I confirm that you have created the Trinity? Can you tell me about it? Yes. Letter A is an abbreviation for actionable. You ask questions that will help clients set variable goals. Ask the question such as, from whom did you get help to build the Trinity? Who else will you get help from? What kind of meetings did you have to build the Trinity. Please think about that meeting, imagine it, see it well, and tell me about it. Next, R is an abbreviation for relevant, and it is question for them to set relevant goals. For example, what does creating a Trinity means to you? What is it important to create the Trinity? Through these questions, if they feel and realized the value of creating the Trinity, wouldn't they make the Trinity? You need to make these kind of question. Lastly, letter T is an abbreviation for time. You ask the question so that they can use time's management skill in achieving their goals. For example, asking, by when will you achieve that Trinity? When will you achieve that Trinity? In this way, the coach helps them achieve their goals by asking them smart coaching questions. To recap, the smart questions are firstly to articulate their goals, especially the next step is to ask a question about what can be measured. They ask it questions about achievable goals, the relevant goals, and why they need such goals. Finally, ask question about time. You should be able to apply this goal well. When setting a goal, it is necessary to subdivide the goal into smaller ones rather than setting just one big goal. The realization of HTM 430 families or substations of 43 families is our end goal. In order to advance to the end goal, we need to take a good look at the achievable goals that we can do from now on. You need to ask it questions like, let's just think about the 43 family. Now it is rather big numbers to reach and on. You need to ask questions like, let's just think of 43 families. Now it is rather big numbers to reach and not easy. But consider 3 families. Won't it be possible to restore 3 families? Who are those 3 families? It is important to see the final goal well, but it is more important to ask at the actionability or performance goal that can be put into practice to each stage. Doing so is also quite desirable in setting and specific goal and putting it into action. When the coach asks these kind of questions, there are something to be careful about. Question should be positive and specific. You need to be able to find the evidence that clients have achieved their goals and should be able to give feedback. Keeping this point in mind will aid you in helping clients to make a good action plan. Now let's practice see the goal well coaching. I am the coach here, and you are the client, everybody client. When I ask you a question, I want you to answer it. You can answer silently in your mind. Is there something you really want? What is that? Please try to answer it to yourself. What does it mean to you? Yes. If there is something that your original mind truly desires, what would it look like? If there is one thing that the original mind within you, or the heavenly parents with you, or the true mother within you desire, what would it be like? Please try to answer internally. Yes. Then picture it in your mind. Imagine it, and enjoy it just like it is real. Now, you have visualized your desired goal. Yes. It is a picture of the achievement of goal in your head. Please enjoy the achievement of your goal. Enjoyment. Yes, I will admit that you have achieved your goal. So, what sound do you hear when you reach your goal? Please, can you explain to me? What else you see, what environment you are in? Please, explain to me what you achieved. Describe the place and the environment. I'll wait. Please describe it well. You are the visualization, what you want as you are talking. Yes. Can I check that your goal has been achieved as a coach? How can I verify? Could you please explain so I can check? Yes. Is that so? Then, when and where did that wonderful goal come true? What was your end goal? What was your end goal? And what action goal did you set to achieve it? What was the execution goal? Please explain to show me so I can see it. Yes, thank you. You have really achieved that goal. Now, there must have been many steps before reaching that goal. When and how would you describe to me the milestones that lead to the achievement of this action goal? Yes, thank you. When you quietly, deeply, and with Jung-sung carefully answer these questions that you and I have discussed together so far, you will be able to visualize and picture yourself achieving your goal. Even after this sharing with me today, we can reach a conclusion that you can achieve your goals by asking these coaching questions are finding answers from your family, church members, or the home group members you work with. Please try it. Next, we will take a moment to reflect on the importance of looking at the seed goal well, especially for the blessed families, for Family Federation, for world peace and unification of our Heavenly Parents' holy community. It is not the goal we want to see, but the goal our original mind desires. When it matches what our original mind desires, the most amazing things can happen. Then you will see how important is it to set the goal. Our goals are very important. So through this practice, we know that we need to achieve that goal. A man named Brian Tracy has come up with the 12 steps to setting goal. The first step is to clearly visualize what I want. The second is to write it down on paper. The third is to set the scheduled deadline. Fourth, to identify the obstacle to overcome. Fifth, to acquire all necessary knowledge, information, skill, and ability to achieve my will. Sixth, to find someone to help me and collaborate with. The seventh is to make a list. 8, to organize it. 9, to make a plan. 10, to choose the important things you can do right now. 11, to do them substantially. 12, to do all this constantly, to make it a habit every time. The most important thing here is to visualize the achievement of the goal at the concludes this deceives moment that set all of the it is well. Brian Tracy is making this suggestion with an important step in achieving goal. What kind of picture are you drawing and what steps are you taking to achieve your goal? In order to create the tribe of 43 family like me, we really have to follow the path of self-training. Okay. Everyone, I'm going to ask you a question to help you achieve your goal. Please answer that question. You need to answer the question again, internally, in your mind. What is that you really want? What is that you really want? By when you will achieve what you want. What are the obstacles to achieving it? What are the obstacles to achieving it? What resources do you have to remove those obstacles? What resources do you have to remove those obstacles? who can help you? In order to establish 43 families and 3 families, what will you do within them? How will I know that you did it? How will I know that you did it? Yes. In order for us to go together for a lifetime and to complete the work, we need to make a habit like eating 3 meals a day. How much more effort would it take to become a habit? We have now completed either 43 families, 12 families, 9 families, 6 families, or 3 families. Close your eyes. Close your eyes and visualize the purpose that has been achieved. Please see it well where you are, when, with whom, what is going on. Please find the meaningful image connecting to the visualization. The moonstar or sunflower are all good. After I have created an image, I will become a person who achieved my purpose. When I think of that imaging anytime, anywhere, visualization of images. Today, you create an image, you are achieving your goal, and you learn about the importance of reminding yourself to keep visualizing by making an imaging of what you want to achieve. I want to live a life that visualizes it every day. I'm going to finish now my sharing today. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. 네, 잘 들으셨습니까?
Did you listen to it very well?
네. 지금 이렇게 보니까 우리 티나 쿰스의 방에 크리스마스 추리가 너무 이쁘게 반짝거립니다. 티나 님이.
Oh, I can see Tina Coombs White. I can see your beautiful Christmas tree that's really shining on the
네,
screen.
오늘 수업 소감을 좀 한번 얘기해 보세요.
Could you please share your reflection from today's lecture?
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, it's very detailed and very nice kind of steps, description, how to do to reach the goal. It's yeah, it gives me motivation to do more practical. I mean, we have, I have reached the 430, but with blessing couples in Nigeria, and also some in Austria and some here in the UK. But yeah, to really help them to deeper understand the value and the blessing is a very crucial point. And yeah, so it's yeah, thank you. I mean, for these steps, I mean, these are very nice practical steps. Just have to kind of internalize them and then really practice them and check regularly. Yeah, thank you for the practical steps. It's very valuable, and you bring it all together nicely and neatly. It's very nice guidance. Now the practice, of course, it's something that we need to do, that I need to do. So I'm grateful for all this advice, very beautiful and advice. Thank you.
네, 고맙습니다.
Thank you very much.
지금 이 쉐어링을 계속하면서 이런 얘기를 참 많이 들으니까 너무 기쁩니다.
I'm truly happy, as I'm hearing these sharings from you. I'm really happy to hear that.
우리 리더들이 어떤 일을 하려고 할 때 이렇게 신수수 리더십을 잘하게 되면 동기부여도 쉽고 또 상대방이 즐겁게 일하고 분명하게 일할 수 있는 기회를 줄 수 있습니다.
When the leaders are working, when you're working in the field, if you can have this heavenly GT leadership that can also motivate you and work with the joy and happiness, and you can do more and better.
그래서 하여튼 우리가 집중해서 이걸 계속 우리 3명씩 만들어서 오늘 수업이 끝나더라도 같이 쉐어링 하면서 질문하고 답하고 이런 내용을 계속 가졌으면 좋겠습니다.
So let's focus on what we are studying today and build, starting from 3 people, and build it up, and let's share it together and have Q&A together.
특별히 오늘 우리가 공부했던 그 브레언 트레이시가 얘기한 목표 설정을 할 때 그 단계를 잘 지켜나가면은 여러분들 43과정 얼마든지 할 수 있다고 봅니다.
Especially, what we learned today, the steps by Brian Tracy, to set the goals, and in each step, if we follow it through, then I'm sure we can achieve 43 families.
어쨌든 우리가 남은 그 발표할 분들을 발표를 다 듣고 한번 진행해 보도록 하겠습니다. 두 분의 발표를 다 듣고 우리가 진행하겠습니다.
And let's listen to those 2 presentations today, and let's continue this session.
네, 이렇게 핵심 주제에 대해서 잘 설명해 주신 김혜환 교수님께 다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드립니다.
Let's give it a big round of applause to our Professor Kiel, who explained it very well about today's topic.
네, 이제 발표 시간에 들어갑니다. 오늘 첫 번째 발표자가 보츠와나의 국가회장 윌리엄 시프엠베 님이 첫 번째 발표를 하실 겁니다. 큰 박수로 모시겠습니다.
Let's welcome our first presenter, Reverend William Chimfwembe from Botswana. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, good morning, Professor Gil. Good afternoon, good morning, fellow classmates. I am William Chimfwembe, 30,000 couple, 92 blessing. Also national leader, Botswana, Chombo Victor, 2020 Chombo Victor. I want to just sum up. I don't know how many minutes I have, but I'll just sum up some few points that I've got from Professor Gill. Professor Gill talked about see well. Also, he emphasized the future points of being well and do well. These are very, very important aspects of coaching implementation. Professor Gill looked at today's topic as see well. This is a very, very exemplary way forward with the coaching implementation. He looked critically where an individual achieves clear resultant cause of original mind of a servitude. I'm putting it in this way that when you look at the way he aligned everything, he looked at an individual who, oneness with his original mind, achieve the goal. In other words, or in other way, a coach who achieves a clear understanding of his or her goal and reflect his or her understanding to others, become a mirror for others in achieving others' goal through one's vision, through his vision. This is how I looked at that's the way to see well according to Professor Gill. And at the same time, centering on original mind, a coach is able to bring up others to the level of highest achievement of their goals. Let them see well. So based on the natural, he talks about the natural principles that has to be implemented as a coach, which I want to go into examples. But also there's not only natural, but also unnatural principles like love. It has to be implemented. But at the same time, also Professor Gill talked about that the coach, to set the goal well, must be done smartly. And that is where I got very, very, something that clicked in my mind. It has to be smartly. He put it in the way that, smart, the word smart, which is like abbreviations, okay? SMART for, maybe S for specification, has to be specific in terms of setting the goal. And also M for measurable. It has to be, you have to set a certain time period. Of course, you have to limit your goal. And at the same time, A is achievable. It should be achievable, like he said. In this way also, when you say you set a standard, it shouldn't go beyond your level. It should be within your level where you know that at least I can achieve that. And the R also for relevant, it has to be, in line with what you want to do. So also the abbreviation, the T, also stands for time period or time bound, where you have to know this is where I have to limit myself. And then in the way that he explained, I looked at the situation that he asked a lot of questions. He put an emphasis on asking a lot of questions. So which means there should be give and take between the coach and the client, so that the client must be very clear in putting up the goal. And at the same time also, it has to be very defined when it comes to the coach himself or herself. And then there is one point that also I won't emphasize too much, is on a target. He also looked at it that a coach has to have a target, which has to reflect on also the client. In a way, in a conclusion also, he also emphasized the importance of setting the goal. Setting the goal, sometimes we don't really understand why we should set the goal. But to me, according to my understanding, the way I've understood from Professor Gill, setting the goal is actually the route to arrive at the final conclusion of our goals. I wish I could explain more further than that. In this case, which is today we know is 330 couples. Of course, there's sub 43 and so on. You can, like Professor Gill explains how many you can also, in 3 and so on. But this is the most important, is to set the goal, which you have to be, it has to be verified. And in the similar manner, Professor Gill also mentioned the 12 steps in setting our goal, whereby we have to have a vision, a very clear vision. And this vision, you have to put it down, you write it down, so that you can really go through and realize, okay, this is what I want to do. And when you write it down, you set also the period of time until to the point where you arrive at the goal becomes the habitual. It becomes the habit, in the way that you have to be like, it become one in mind with you until, in the realization of, I can say when it becomes habitual, finally, it has to be internalized. It has to be with you. It has to be one with you. It become part of your original mind. And in internalize, according to Professor Gill, he said they visualize. I mean, you visualize the goal. It has to be something that you can see, something that you substantially now has to be realized. In a conclusion, Professor Gill emphasized on the question and answer, which is very, very cardinal. To be very question and answer, when you are dealing with the client, let's say, suppose he gave his own example that I am or the subject, or I am the coach. Then we are the clients, or we can say we are the objects. And for us to really realize what Professor Gill wants us to be done, it has to be one. There should be give and take. There should be a reciprocal relationship between ourselves and Professor Gill. I think this is where, and I'm not so sure, I was not given time limit. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much. 네, 정말 감사합니다.
Thank you so much.
네, 오케이. 교수님의 피드백은 이제 다음 발표 끝나고 듣겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Well,
Thank you.
Sorry, we'll listen to
feedback
from Professor Gill after we hear from the second presenter. Thank you.
오케이. 네, 그리고 마지막 발표자가 캐나다의 라이언 아베니엘 목사입니다. 큰 박수로 모시겠습니다.
So welcome. Our next presenter is Reverend Ryan Abner from Canada. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Good morning. Morning from Canada. How are you? So, did everybody hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So, first of all, Dr. Gill, thank you for the sharing and for the lecture. It's really helped me to reflect my journey of 43 blessing for this past few days. And right now, I want to share what is my experience while reflecting to the lecture that what I heard. This very uplifting and very helpful for me. At the same time, I want to share something about my experience with my getting my 43 couples. So 43, our goal is to give the visions of our vision of getting a 43. So seeing well is very leading us to achieve our goal. So as you know, I've been here in Canada for just a few years, and I moved here from America, and I'm originally Filipino. So my main mission here is to do witnessing blessing. And it's very challenging for me because I don't have a friend here in Canada. I just newly here. So it's very challenging mentally how I can do it. but somehow I managed to find people around me so they can help me. So I helped me to guide me with this quote. So good leaders have vision and inspire others to help them turn vision into reality. Great leader leads. Great leaders have vision, share vision, and inspire others to create their own. I think that's our mission. Create to not just to share, not just to make the vision a reality, but to create others to create their own visions like us. I think that's coach main goal. And it's very challenging to encourage others to get our own vision. This is my vision, how I can share that vision to others. So I'm reflecting that. And I realized this is not just an easy thing. It takes me, I think in Canada, it takes me 4 years to do it, actually to practice it, experiment about it. It's live like this. You know, this is your vision and just giving it to other person. And how that person realize that and understand that visions takes a process. It's helped me to understand when I study this, you know, the attitude of Chambu coach. I want the last sentence, stand in the position of the object partner, the client, not in my own, I want this is my vision, it's my vision. No, I want to stand in the other side and I want them slowly bring it to my vision. So I remember the analogy that I heard before when teaching people to learn how to teach people to cross. No, so teaching the horse cross the river. It doesn't need to teach them or drag them. You know, takes a process. Let me change my. Sorry, let me change my. It helps you to understand that through this analogy of teaching my client to understand my vision is just helping, like analogy of teaching the horse crossing the river. You don't drag the horse to cross the river. I said you need to learn how to walk with the horse, how to show the horse to taste the water, to drink with the horse with the water, to walk with the horse in the water. Then you cross the horse with the water. And through that, you can create a good relationship, you know, with the horse. I think that's what I learned heading this my journey in Canada. The client, I work with the client, you know, experience with them. I work with the journey with the client. At the end, we build up that connections and he wants to receive and own the vision that I have. That's what I'll explain to you today, share to you today. So I consider this teaching of Father Moon and the principle, page 73. The original emotion, intellect, will, and beauty. So here, the human mind has three faculties: emotion, intellect, and will. Human body acts in response to the commands of mind. When the body responds to the mind, emotion, intellect, and will, its actions pursue the value, beauty, truth, and goodness respectively. So the client is have three faculties: emotion, intellect, and will. I provide the intellect, the strategy, how to do it, how to manage it. I provide the will, to do this way, do this. But now I want to focus more on emotion. How did you feel it? Did you enjoy it? What hesitates you? This emotional mind, I want to share to you. This emotional mind helped me to guide this my client to understand my vision, understand my mission, and help her to own my vision. So I want you to introduce to you this emotional intelligence. I learned this when I was studying seminary, and this intelligence is helping me to reach
Mr.
my
Akanya,
goal.
so sorry. Can you speak up a little bit louder because some of our participants can't hear? And also for the participants, please increase your volume as well. Thank you.
Yes, did you hear now?
Yes, that's way better. Thank you.
Good, thank you. So I want you to introduce this concept of emotional intelligence. We're gonna focus on emotions. So our goal is by researcher John Mayer. So encourage you to learn more deep in his study. So emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage own emotion, and recognize, understand, and influence the emotion of others. So this emotional intelligence means to aware your own emotion and drive our emotion, our behavior, and impact other people. So, and learning how to manage those emotions in both yourself and others. So if you focus a little bit, dig more about emotions while helping them to understand the goal and the mission of achieving 43 couples for Chambo. It's really helpful. I realized very helpful. So how's that happen? What's the emotion? Why emotion is very important? Emotion. So it's scientific that fact that emotion precede thoughts. When emotion run high, they change the way our brain function, diminish our cognitive ability, decision-making power, and even interpersonal skills. Understanding and managing our emotion help us to more successful in both personal and professional lives. So emotions, coaching others, even business, even in church, or helping them to achieve a goal. I want to make aware of this person's emotion also, because there's a response before when I share my vision, then people answered back to me, "Oh, that's your vision, not my vision." But through the process, I understand I need to focus more how she can honor it, how she can feel it, and how she can make this emotion, these visions acceptable through the journey, cultivating the emotions. Sometimes too much, so hard for them to feel is too much logical or unlogical to them. So I focus there. Then I wanted to introduce this lady, Nilda. She's my, I coached her for 3 years. I met her in one of my blessing, and she's very interested to work with me. So she loved dancing. So I told her, okay, I want to work with you. Can you help me to do this? At first, he don't want to help me. He don't want to, I didn't understand why you need to do this, why you need to do this. And I explained to her, but then I'm not gonna get it. So I followed the guidance of focus on the client. So what I did is I invite her in any event I invite her in women's federations and dance there, and she understand about women's federation. I invite her in an event of IEPD, so she can understand the religious part of the event, and she danced there also. I invite her to our church, work with them in the service project, Christmas party, so she can be involved with it. I invite in the church, so we can share together. So with that experience, we discuss more. I help her to digest more, the goal, setting goals, then measurable goals, achieved all the basic things. Then I asked her some questions that helped her a little bit, asking her about what do you feel about it, why, how. And I asked her, what experience do you want for your, and how did you feel it? That kind of question. Then I said, and what motivates you doing this? I tried to ask her to reflect more. Then I asked him, how are you? How are you? Really, how are you? Did you enjoy this? Did you enjoy what you're doing? You want to do more? Something like that. Then how can I help you to work with this? Then after anything else I can help, anything that you want me to hear or share more. Then I told her, we can do this together. We can do this together, two of us, a group. So with that, he helped me to organize this group. She organized this blessing by her own. And he introduced me those people, those are community leader in the community. And this couple introduced me, and we do in their organizations also do blessing with these two couple. That's her contact. And after that, she helped me meeting this person also and do blessing in their own group. So after that, I met her, introduced this lady, and we honor her as an ambassador for peace and managed to coach another person. After this, I reflect again. We talk together again, we make another goal, experience what you experience, what you done in your life. Then set another goal, sit down with her and digest everything. After that, she helped me to recently, a few weeks ago, helped me that lady to go with this project, partnership with this project. And with her and the new lady, the organizer, help us to do lecture in public with these organizations, to introduce UPF, to introduce Ambassador for Peace, and present Mother Moon in the public, big setting. And with this, we award those Filipinos in the community. This is our goal, to influence those Filipino community in Toronto, 36 of them. They are auditor, they are owner of the TV stations, they have big people, bankers, businessmen. The goal is this lady to help me cultivating them. Through this, this is the chairman of the organizations, and through them we partnered in this project. We give them the service award, and we meet politicians. They hear the testimony of Father, they hear the lecture. Those MP, senators, and this our Consul General of the Philippines in Canada. He also hear and understand everything. Then we meet with all the celebrities, and at the end, this event, this shows televised on YouTube. Around 5,000 people watch it, and within the news. I think this is a national acceptance because of help of the coaching. You know, then the end goal is always helping me to understand what's the end goal always. What's the end goal? What do you want to achieve? And always understand how I can do it and how I can feel it, how I can share it. It's very helpful and encouraging to move more. So our end goal is not just to get this blessing. Our end goal is to have a national blessing. Feel it, understand it, and I want to share this vision to others. That's my sharing. I hope through the sharing I can share to you my experience, and hoping that it can encourage you to practice the see well and feel well, and invest more in doing this mission. It's not a mission, it's our life. At the end, you're not building a client and leader relationship, but more you're creating a parent-child relationship with your clients. At the end, he will do her own mission. Get the mission and honor it, own it, and share it to others. That's the main goal. So thank you for letting me sharing, and 감사합니다.
잘 들었습니다. 너무 잘 들었습니다.
Thank you so much for your presentation.
예, 그 보스와나 윌리엄 회장님은 완전히 그쪽에서 이제 내가 할 일을 다 거기서 할 수 있을 정도로 완벽한 이해를 했습니다.
Reverend William from Botswana understood the contents as he can do it himself in your country. Yeah, you really understood the contents very well.
예, 앞으로 제가 계속 지켜보겠습니다.
And I'm gonna see how well you will do in the future from now on.
예, 너무 기분이 좋습니다.
I'm really happy. I feel really uplifted.
예, 그리고 우리 캐나다의 리안 아비노 회장님께서는 이제 코칭으로서 실제 이제 두회를 하는 그런 경지까지 갔군요.
And Reverend Ryan Abner from Canada, he's been actualizing, realizing through coaching, and he's already in the level of the next stage of he's do well stage he's already in.
그래서 회장님은 완전히 코칭이 하나의 미션이 아니고 하나의 삶인 것 같아요. 삶.
So coaching is not just his mission, but it's his life. Now he realized it's his life.
네, 그러다 보니 앞으로 큰 성장이 보입니다.
And I can see there will be a great development from this.
오늘 내가 이 공유를 하면서 너무나 마음이 가벼워졌어요. 이제 내가 안 해도 할 사람이 많다는 생각을 하게 됐습니다.
Today, as I'm listening to your presentation, my heart has become really lightened, and I can feel that there are people out there who can do in place of me great work.
네, 그러면은 우리가 오늘 그 CL 목표 세우기에 대한 쉐어링을 했는데요.
Today, I talked about a goal setting through See Well.
이거를 홈그룹 안에 전반적으로 잘 실천한 우리 말레이시아 리더들에게 제가 질문을 좀 할까 합니다.
And I'd like to ask questions to Malaysian leaders who have been really realizing and actualizing this through home group very well in Malaysia.
예, 유일하게 우리 말레이시아의 남자 리더인 폴락이 있는데 폴락에게 지금 질문 좀 하겠습니다.
And there's one brother, Polak from Malaysia, the only brother. I would like to ask you a question.
미안합니다. 갑자기 이렇게 얘기를 해서.
I'm sorry. I just ask you a question suddenly.
말레이시아에서는 이 CL 목표 세우기에 대해서 말레이시아 그 쿠알라룸푸 말하자면 홈그룹에서 할 수 있는 얘기를 좀 해주시기 바랍니다.
Could you please share about this through CWell, that how you set your goal in home group in Kuala Lumpur in your region?
Hi, Professor Gill, and hi, everybody. Do you mind to repeat your question again, Miss Christina Lee? It comes to me unexpected. I didn't expect I to say anything. Yeah, and you mentioned about KL region, and I'm just one of the home group members. I'm so surprised with the question. Would you mind to repeat that again, my lady?
Okay, 다시
그 CWell 얘기를 하세요. 이해했었습니다.
네. So his question was how you have your home group activities in your area, right? And how did you set your goal through the CWell vision? Because I think that was his question.
Yeah, that in your home group.
In your home group.
I think the first thing about like setting this, it's about I myself personally and on my life, I think, which is very important, and how am I going to see well in my own life, which is very important. How am I going to take care of my family, and how am I going to be successful in my career, and then bring that from, how am I going to raise my children, you know, and then bring that into the home group. And I think being a successful home group, it's working together with the Trinity is to be relevant to the society, and which dealing with people's issue, what is most what is most dearing to them in their personal life, and then guide them towards the divine principle. And what we do together is we always ask questions, and then what do the client, actually our clients, and the people that we are trying to approach, what do they really want, and then what are the problems that they are facing. And then the first thing is to help them to solve this problem by asking questions, and then guide them to our beloved true parents. And then that's what we have been doing. Yeah. And I think that's all, because it's really unexpected. And then furthermore, maybe something Professor Gill would like to ask. It comes so surprised to me. I wasn't prepared at all, actually, to answer such a question. If you want to know, you can ask me.
좋아요. 예, 그러면 똑같은 질문을 내가 팩 모이한테 한번 해볼 테니까 답을 해주세요.
Okay, I would like to ask the same question to Pek Moy. Can you please answer to the same question?
Good evening, Professor Gill. Today, I feel that you talk about setting goal. We have a very high goal for 430 couples. So if we just focus on 430 couples, it's very heavy. very heavy goal that we feel that it's impossible to achieve it. Or we can achieve it in a very symbolically, which is not truly 430 couples that really know Heavenly Parent to Parents. But from today's sharings, I could able to see that we go to a smaller goal. We start with a smaller goal, which is for 3. 3 is actually very difficult to establish. So start from 3. The 3 Trinity must be very strong. If the 3 Trinity is not strong, don't talk about 430 couples. So start from 3, and these 3 slowly. Then we go to. You have to really fall in love with each other. Like for our Trinity, we meet each other every morning for morning devotions, and we have even we share. Then from there, we expand it to 12 and 12 leaders. Yeah, we train 12 leaders. We don't say VIPs. We always treat our new members as leader. Another new leader. This is what I see for 430 couples. I need 43 leaders. So each leader needs to guide 10 members. So from there, this is how I set my goal to slowly from 3 to 12, and from 12 to 36, and very easy. I think if I could achieve 36, 43 will be a very simple goal to achieve. Then each time you need to lay a very strong relationship, and you have to let them copy what you do. That now I have a new group. Paul is my new multiple group, and he is under L3 Hope. So he's really a hope. He's a very good leader. He asks a lot of questions, and he's a lot of passions. He asked me a lot of questions too, that I always so appreciate to Paul, because his home group, L3 Hope, and he really asked a lot of questions to the VIPs and really train them to understand God. So I hope, Paul, your Trinity could be fall in love with each other, really fall in love with each other. Every day you want to meet, and at least 1 hour. Then from there, then this is how you should multiply from 3 to 6, 9, 12, from a small group goal that we could able to achieve. This is not easy, actually, really not easy for 3. It takes us years, I think more than 3 years for us to establish until today this relationship. So let us establish Trinity first. This is my sharing. Thank you.
예, 고맙습니다. 어려운 답변을 해줬습니다.
Thank you so much for this. Was a difficult question, and you answered it well. Thank you.
오케이, 팽모이 12월 말일 날 팽모이가 그릴 수 있는 시회는 어떤 걸까요?
So on the last day, the 31st of December, what would be your visualization of your goal through See Well?
Actually, recently we read the blue books, the blue books that have the 5 books during our morning devotions with my Trinity. So it really inspired so much, and I visualize my next year goal. So I want to achieve Chambok couple together Trinity, not me first, but let us do it together in our village, because we are very active in my village, my own village. And I tell my Trinity, let us achieve together, not one by one. Let us achieve together next year as a Chambok couple. And then yesterday I start to give away through Father autobiography to the village leader, to the politics leader, even to a higher politics leader. I feel that we need action plan. We cannot just vision, but vision with actions, and to serve. And I start to, and after reading a lot, the Chongbuk, when I attended the Chongbuk events 2 days ago, the testimony of all these Japanese sisters, they work so hard. And I feel myself that I work so little. I work so little. So I really visualize myself. I need to go to the village every day. I need to go every day to meet people, to talk to them, to love them. And I come to understand and to serve them. So I clean up the road every day if I can, even though I need to work. But I try to find time to see and to reach the goal as a Chongbuk couple next year. If I do enough actions, and if I really desperate, we have to be desperate. We are not desperate enough. We are not thirsty enough to achieve the goal. That's why we could not achieve our goal. This is my visualizer.
Thank you. 고맙습니다. 그러면 우리 아주 교육자이신 필리핀의 우리 줄리우스 우리 부회장님께서 오늘 쉐어링한 거를 보시고 어떤 얘기를 하고 싶으십니까? 줄리우스.
I'd like to ask a question to Julius, the Vice President. As an educator, you listen to the sharings of the leaders today. What's your reflection? What would you like to share from you? I'd like to hear from you.
Yes, thank you very much, Professor Gill. And also for the sharing of all those who gave their testimony and sharing, very inspiring. And we are learning a lot because every time we hear from Professor Gill, especially since we started this Chonbo Leader School, this part actually on this topic on see well is actually very important starting point, because before we can do well and be well, seeing well is the starting point. So that means as we are guided with having the right goal, the right attitude for goal setting, I think this is something that sometimes we are too much, we want to rush things. And as also mentioned by Sister Pikmoy, like it takes time. It takes time. And we learn that as we do it. And sometimes we want to rush and accomplish things very quickly. But the more we are engaged, the more we realize it takes time to do. But it all starts with seeing well. And I really appreciate Professor Gill reminding us that before we begin something, we always think of the end. We always think of the goal, as also Stephen Covey mentioned, begin with the end in mind. So before we start anything, already we know and we visualize already what we want to achieve. And this is, I think as GT leaders, as Chonbo coach, this is something that we need to make as a habit. Like we don't just do because it's a direction. We don't just do because our leaders tell us to do, but because we are inspired with the goal. We are inspired with the ultimate goal. And then because of that, then we start setting up achievable goals, like as mentioned by Professor Gill, performance goals, or like smaller goals, smaller steps. And then once we do and accomplish that small step, then we realize I can go more. And also Sister Pekmoy mentioned about that, like now she can see like, oh, because we accomplished already this, and then now like expanding a little bit, not too much, but something that at least a step that you can do. And then after you accomplish that again, then you set another goal. So I think as this should be the attitude, the right attitude of any GT leader or Chonbo coach. And again, thank you for the reminder with the acronym SMART. And we cannot forget this because Sister Ami Smart is here with us always. So that's why maybe we cannot forget this acronym, right? To how to set the goal, always remember Ami here, Ami Smart. So in a way, I remember also, I think Professor Gill was guiding us one time. And then when you think of a goal, the goal should not be vague. Like sometimes our goal is very vague. We just say, I want to become a chonbo. But how can the spirit world help if that goal is not specific? So that means goal means numbers. So for example, Sister Pekmoy means, she said, let us start with 3. And then 3 is a number, very clear. And then the spirit world can clearly help us. Okay, let me help you find and raise up this 3. And the next goal is 12. So goal means numbers. Then it becomes achievable. It becomes more realistic, measurable. And we can also set time how we can accomplish it, when we can accomplish it. So thank you very much, Professor Gill, for this guidance today. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much. 자, 그럼 우리 데이비드 카플께서 한번 오늘 이 CL을 쓰시고 어떤 것을 적용해 봤으면 하는 그런 생각이 드십니까?
David Couple 신가요? As you listen to this CLS lectures and sharing, what do you think you can apply in your activities or in your life? 저 이름을 제대로 얘기했나 모르겠네.
Okay, David, come on. Yeah.
All right, good evening, Professor Gill. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, a couple of things from your presentation, Professor Gill, right at the beginning when you were talking about being in the object position. I think when you think of coaching somebody, it suggests automatically that you're in the subject position, but that struck me very much, to be in the object position and to remove our own thoughts, ego, and so on. And I feel that somehow puts God at the center. That puts God, Heavenly Parent, at the center by doing that. And also, the other thing I felt was it gives the person that you're relating to, your client or your friend, it gives them ownership. They then take ownership because you're sort of putting them in the subject position. And then if you do that, then things are more likely to progress because they're taking ownership and not just depending on you. I found that very enlightening. That's quite helpful. Our reality, I mean, we started, for example, doing the Interfaith Blessing back in 2009, 2010. We just felt we've been doing it since then, but we've been doing a lot of these things unconsciously without realizing it, I think, without thinking too much, partly because we're so busy with different responsibilities, HTM and pastor responsibility and UPF responsibility, Women's Federation responsibility. We didn't go systematically, but I think we've been applying these things unconsciously. For example, we always had a vision to hold an interfaith blessing every February when two parents or true mother would have a blessing. We felt we should have a blessing and we worked towards that. And we got the help of different people. Like Pekmoy was saying, we always try to do practical things to help other people and gain their trust. And often it was through one person. As our brother in Canada was saying, it would be one person who opened the door for us then to go into, for example, a Hindu temple. One lady opened the door into a Hindu temple to give the blessing to maybe 100 couples, or another lady that Patricia was connected to in a mosque that opened the way to give the blessing in that mosque. So we've sort of been applying these things, but unconsciously, not systematically, because we haven't had the time to. So I think now it's our responsibility to be more systematic and apply these things. And just one thing that comes to mind to conclude is that next year we're planning a youth project in Birmingham. Our city is hosting the Commonwealth Games. I don't know if you've heard of that event every few years, the Commonwealth Games. So it's here in our city, and we're going to do a youth project with about 20 young people doing environmental work here. And I was thinking, as you were presenting, Professor Gill, we have to raise quite a lot of money, and to really go to our couples here in this region and ask for their not necessarily financial help, but ask for their involvement, to involve them. And through that involvement, then we can engage them and start to work more systematically with 3, 6, 12, and so on. So I think we have the vision for that project next June. We know exactly when it will be, what it will be, but we can engage with our couples through this methodology that you're sharing with us and develop things more systematically. So yeah, that's what I'd like to share. Thank you.
And I think in the end, it's just bringing faith community together. That's my vision in the city of Birmingham, to bring all the different faith community together, you know, for peace, you know, and to even build a peace embassy where people can come beyond their religion and discover the heart of God, you know, and then doing practical things to really help the community. This is our vision, because we know a lot of people. And I feel God somehow, you know, will help us, you know, to realize that. Yeah.
Thank you very much. 네, 고맙습니다. 그러면은 우리 러시아 쪽으로 넘어가 봅시다. 러시아의 알렉세이, 오늘 이 시회를 들으면서 러시아에 적용할 때 어떤 효과가 나타날 것 같습니까? 이런 작업을 할 때.
Okay, let's move on to Russia. Alexei from Russia, as you listen to today's lecture and sharing through Seawell, what kind of effect can you expect in your field, in your area, by applying the Seawell that we talked about today?
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Professor Gil, for your presentation. Shortly, I can share. I also agree that the Seawell is a kind of essential point, because to speak about do well and be well without Seawell, it's not so easy. And also, I think it's important because at least many of us as a kind of pastors, church leaders, many situations did as a how to say, giving guidance. And so in a sense, it's really important in one sense, but on the other hand, not so easy to kind of change the paradigm, almost change the heart, how to put ourselves on the object position. So in this sense, I really thank to Professor Gil kind of emphasizing this point so much, that if we keep at least myself in the position of subject or the kind of giving guidance, it's really difficult to help the person to express his original mind, or to help him to understand his God's given vision or the heart he has in his or ability he has. So in this sense, it's really challenging, at least for me. And I already reminding myself many times, participating in Chombo class, that I'm not a pastor, I'm not a leader in this sense, but I'm the person who's supporting this person to express his original mind. So for this, thank you very much. And I still need to learn a lot. That's why I'm so much appreciate participating in this Chombo school.
네, 맞습니다. 정말로 절대 쉽지 않습니다. 우리가 지금 오늘 얘기하는 것은.
So the contents that we're sharing today is not an easy thing to do, really.
그렇기 때문에 우리가 이 시회를 하면서 자꾸 연상한다는 것은 할 수 없는 것, 해보지 못하는 것을 우리가 했다고 하는 입장에 서자는 거거든요.
So what we are trying to do is something that we haven't achieved it yet, but through Seawell, we'll visualize and imagine that we are achieving it is what we want to do, right?
그러면 된다는 것은 왜냐하면은 사실 뇌과학자들이 연구를 해보니까 뇌는 현실과 이상을 구분을 못한다는 거죠.
So what does it mean then if you visualize it well, then it will come true, it will happen. The neuroscientists, according to their research, they say our brain cannot really distinguish the reality or what we are dreaming or visualizing. Right? Our body cannot tell the difference.
그때 실현할 수 없는 것이라는 생각에 갇혀 있지 않고 실현되었다라는 생각을 자꾸 하고 하면 그것이 정말로 된 것으로 뇌는 알게 된다는 거예요.
So instead of thinking, oh, I can't do it, it's impossible, instead of thinking in that way, if we think through CWell repeatedly, that you visualize your goal and I've already achieved it. If you imagine that over and over, then our brain works in such a way that we ourselves, our brain believes that, oh, it's been done, it's achieved already. That's how our body reacts.
그래서 참모님 말씀대로 우리가 원하는 것을 이룰 수 있도록 하기 위해서 자기를 주관해야 되기 때문에 결코 쉽지는 않죠. 이거 쉽지 않습니다.
So as true parents have taught us, you know, what if to achieve what we want, we have to also be able to control ourselves, and it's not so easy. It's a difficult task for every one of us.
그래서 나온 단어가 천심천보 수행이라는 단어입니다.
So we came up with this Chunshim Heavenly Heart Chombo training, which is one combined word. Yeah.
그래서 우리는 43과정을 하기 전에 우선 내 자신이 천심천보 수행, 정화 수행이라고도 합니다. 저는.
So before we say we're trying to achieve 43 families, I would want to emphasize on this personal training, like a purification training for ourselves first, which is very important.
그래서 안 된다 하는 그런 에고를 내려놓고 내 안에 있는 본심에게 본심이 말하는 된다고 하는 그 본심을 이끌어내는 거죠.
So instead of saying, oh, I can't do this, oh, it's impossible, and that kind of negative ego, we put it aside, our own ego, and we try to bring out our original mind to say, we can do it, I can do it.
그래서 천심을 향해서 매일같이 걸어가는 것, 천심을 향해서.
So each and every day we walk one step at a time toward the heavenly heart, the original mind that desires.
그래서 이걸 경험한 사람들이 이웃에게 가인권에 들어가서 또 이 작업을 하면 가인권들도 역시 똑같은 입장이기 때문에 우리한테 올 수 있다고 하는 내용입니다.
So when we experience, I mean, people who are experiencing this and sharing with people in the realm of Cain, and they also feel the same things, right? So they can come to us because if we approach it this way through our own experience.
그래서 말레이시아도 결국은 홈그룹 안에서 어웨이크닝 코칭을 갖다가 도입해서 이것이 아주 그냥 전부 다 아주 마음을 열어놓고 하나 되는 작업이 점점 더 번성해 간다고 그러죠.
So in Malaysia, you know, they have developed this project, Awakening Coaching. Through this Awakening Coaching, they opened their hearts and they became one together, and they have developed a great result.
예, 오늘 이제 이미 시간이 됐기 때문에 여러분하고 많은 시간을 더 갖고 싶지만은 일단 이것으로 마치기로 하겠습니다. 너무나 고맙습니다. 감사합니다.
Now the time's up. I'd love to share it with you more, but I have to say goodbye now. And thank you so much for joining in today. Thank you.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
네, 정말 감사합니다. 네, 지금 한국에 거의 12시, 11시, 저녁 11시인데 정말 감사합니다, 교수님. 그리고
So it's
모든
like 11 p.m. at night in Korea. Thank you so much, Professor.
네. 그러면 저희 이번 첨보 리더 스쿨 마치기 위해 하는 부모님과 참 부모님께 경배를 올리도록 하겠습니다.
So before closing, let's bow to our Heavenly Parent and to the parents of heaven, earth, and humankind.
네, 경배 바로 감사합니다. 정말 수고 많으셨습니다.
감사합니다.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
감사합니다. Bye bye. Good night. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Mother Teresa. Bye bye. Yeah. Bye bye.
Hello, Professor Gil.
Yeah. Okay.
Professor Gil,
Okay,
salamamnida.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Professor Gil.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Thank you very
Bye.
much. 감사합니다.
Bye. 감사합니다.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Joyeux Noël.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
감사합니다.
감사합니다. Thank you. Bye bye.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Okay.
Thank you so
Bye
much.
bye.
Happy New Year.
So much, Professor Gil. 수고 많으셨고요. 네, 감사합니다. 감사합니다.